Jazz Poem 2 Poem, Class 10 English Textbook Solutions. Published by Class 1 to 12 Textbook Solutions. Questions and answers, notes, summary. Question 1. Read the first stanza and see how closely the description of the jazz, the player is made and filled in the columns in the table. Answer. 1. Face wrinkled old face, full of worries, rough and shaven face. 2. Eyes closed eyes, still down eyes. 3. Ears still closed ears. 4. Shirt a faded blue old shirt, turned dark with sweat. 5. Collar frayed collar. 6. Jacket worn out, old jacket. 7. Shoes run down shoes had paper in them. Question 2. Why do you think the jazz player keeps his head down? Line 1 to 6. Answer. Jazz player was very old and he had no interest in life. He was alone and had pain in his heart, so he kept his head down. Question 3. The word, old, has been repeated several times in the first two stanzas. What does this suggest? Answer. The word old suggests belonging to the past. Jazz player was aged and the things are worn out or outdated. Question 4. What description do the lines from 13 to 18 suggest about the jazz player? Answer. Jazz player had lost his interest in the jazz player had lost his interest in life. He didn't care to wear the tom dress. He had more pain that could be seen in each wrinkle of his face. He was alone. Question 5. A. Read the lines from 19 to 25 carefully. Is there any change in the stature of the jazz player? B. Now read the lines from 31 to 35. Can you guess what he is meditating on? Answer. A. Yes, we found some changes in jazz player. He put his still down and eyes still closed but ears brighter up. He was started to play some religious musical notes in a low voice. B. He was meditating that he wanted to tell that he was a black man to all the world. Question 6. How has he held his instrument? Answer. His instrument saxophone was hung from his neck by a wire coat hanger. Question 7. Read the lines from 29 to 41. It gives a picture. Can you imagine that? Try to get that picture in your mind. If you can, draw the picture. Answer. Lines 29 to 41 create the picture of the man playing his instrument. The minute he puts his musical instrument to his mouth, he undergoes a transformation. As he preaches his black gospel of jazz through his music, he changes from being a black man to a bird, soaring high in the sky. This transformation is symbolic of the liberating spirit of music. It also shows that music has no divisive boundaries. Question 8. Preaching it with words, line 35. What does it stand for here? Answer. It stands for the black gospel of jazz. Question 9. He is no longer a man, says the poet, line 37. Who else is he supposed to be if he is no longer man? Answer. The poet said that if he is no longer a man, he became a bird. Question 10. Read the last 10 words of the poem. You may observe a change in the tone. What is that about? Answer. The tone in the last 10 words is of despondence, loss of hope. The speaker says that the jazz player, who transformed himself into a bird with the power of music, may once again relapse into his pathetic condition of being an old black man with a wrinkled face and worn-out clothing. Read and appreciate. Question 1 and 2 Self-assessment. Question 3. The poem is full of images, word picturish. Some examples are given. Now find as many images as you can in the poem. Answer. B. Sagging stomach. E. Still closed eyes. G. An old alto saxophone lies across his chest. Question 4. Is there a simile in the poem? If so, identify it. Answer. Yes, in the very first stanza, a simile is employed. The poem begins with the lines, there he stands, see? Like a black ancient mariner. The comparison is between the black jazz musician and the ancient mariner in Coleridge's poem. Like the ancient mariner, the old jazz musician feels that he has a message for the people of the world. Jazz Poem 2 Additional questions and answers. Multiple choice questions. Question 1. Jazz Poem 2 belongs to the unit A. Music the ambrosia. B. Music. C. Science. D. Happiness. Answer. A. Music the Ambrosia. Question 2. Jazz Poem 2 is written by A. Coleridge, C. Shakespeare, D. Margaret. Answer B. Carl Wendell Hines Jr. Question 3. He stands like a black. A. Man. D. Person. Answer C. Ancient Mariner. Question 4. His old face. Answer B. Wrinkled. Question 5. The old face so full of living. Answer C. Worries. Question 6. He is turned downward with eyes. Answer D. Closed. Question 7. His frayed collar, faded old shirt. Answer B. Bhie. Question 8. Answer A. Necktie. Question 9. The undone drops loosely about the worn. Answer C. Old jacket. Question 10. Just barely holding his stomach in. Answer D. Sagging. Question 11. His run-down shoes have in them. Answer C. Paper. Question 12. Answer D. Pain. Question 13. He stands in solitude head. Answer B. Self-brought. Question 14. Across his chest lies an old D. Necktie. Answer A. Alto saxophone. Question 15. Alto saxophone supported from his neck by a wire. Answer C. Coat hanger. Question 16. To tell all the world that he is a. Answer D. Black man. Question 17. Answer B. Preach. Question 18. He came here to preach the black of jazz. Answer A. Gospel. Question 19. Now preaching it with words of notes and chords. Answer B. Screaming. Question 20. He is no longer a man, no, not even a. Answer B. Black man. Question 21. He was turned into not even a black man but. Answer D. A bird. Question 22. Answer C. High. 2. Match the following. Answer 3. Give phrases or one word for the following. Question 1. No longer interested in or enthusiastic about anything in life. Answer wearies of living. Question 2. Threads in a piece of cloth starting to come apart. Question 3. The state of being alone. Question 4. A type of religious music in which religious songs are sung very loudly. Question 5. Loud musical sounds. Answer the following questions in a word or a sentence each. Question 1. What is the ancient mariner? Question 2. Why is the musician weary? Answer. The musician is weary because of all the experiences that life has put him through. Question 3. Why is the musician's shirt turning dark? Answer. The musician's shirt is turning dark because of his sweat. Question 4. Why are the shoes of the musician in bad shape? Answer. The musician cannot afford new shoes or even repair them, so his shoes are in a very bad condition. Question 5. Why is there pain in each wrinkle on the musician's face? Answer. The musician is a poor, black man, who has experienced many hardships in life and therefore there is pain in each of his wrinkles. Question 6. Which musical instrument does the jazz player play? Question 7. What is supported by the musician's neck? Question 8. Why are the musician's lips parted? Answer. The musician's lips are parted because he is about to begin playing his instrument. Question 9. Why are the words and musical notes described as screaming? Answer. The words and musical notes are described as screaming because they are loud and full of passion and harmony. Question 10. Why did he stop being a man? Answer. The musician stops being a man because, when he starts playing, he is transformed into a bird. Question 11. How does the musician find himself a black man again? Answer. After he transforms into a bird and flies away, he discovers himself afresh as a black man again. Question 12. How could the musician go away from the earth? Answer. With the power of music. Music had transformed him into a bird. Question 13. What does the jazz player look like the moment he plays the saxophone? Answer. The moment the jazz player plays the saxophone, he turns into a bird with wings. Question 14. What is the jazz player supposed to be when he plays music? Answer. The jazz player is supposed to be a bird when he plays music. Question 15. The old jazz musician's shirt was dark due to. Answer the following questions in 2 to 3 sentences each. Question 1. Comment on the phrase, full of wearies of living. Answer. The poet heightens the long, tiring life of the jazz musician by employing the expression, wearies of living. Wearies refers to fatigue and other tiring acts, highlighting the drudgery of life. Question 2. Give at least 2 descriptions of the jazz player to show that he is sad while not playing the instrument. Answer. The jazz player keeps his head down, bogged by life's wearies. He has experienced many hardships in life and therefore his rough and shaven face shows pain in each wrinkle. Question 3. He is no longer a man, says the poet in the poem, Jazz Poem 2. What does the poet mean by this? Answer. The poet conveys the idea that an artist can transcend his physical being and free his spirit from the confinement of the flesh. When he plays jazz, he is a free soaring spirit like a bird. The poet wants to highlight the liberating spirit of music. Question 4. Why do you think the word, old, has been repeated several times in the first 2 stanzas? Question 5. Why does the jazz player keep his head down? When does he feel like a bird? Answer the following questions in 6 to 8 sentences each. Question 1. The poet uses the word, see, twice. What is his intention in doing this? Answer. The poet uses the word, see, once at the beginning while he introduces the jazz musician to the readers, and once again when the jazz musician lifts the musical instrument to his lips. The poet's intention is to draw the attention of the reader to the transformation that is going to take place in the musician once he starts playing the instrument. It is as if the poet is urging the readers to take note of the magical power of music. The poet wants the readers to take note of the transformation completely, moment by moment. Question 2. What do you think is meant by the black gospel of jazz? Answer. The traditional black gospel is music that is written to express either personal or a communal belief regarding Christian life. It is a form of Christian music and a subgenre of gospel music. The origins of gospel music are during American slavery, when enslaved Africans were introduced to the Christian religion and converted in large numbers. In the 1930s, gospel music of the civil rights movement was referred to as the Black Gospel period because this was the most prosperous era for gospel music. The message of many of the civil rights activists was supported by the message gospel music was putting forth. Hence the poet talks about the black gospel of jazz. On the whole, we can see that the message the musician has to share is from the black perspective. Question 3. How does the poet discriminate against the jazz player's appearance with his artistic character? Answer. The poet describes the old jazz player and how he is transformed when he plays the music he loves. The jazz player has a rough and shaven face and sagging stomach. He wears a faded blue shirt, a loose necktie, and an old jacket. His shoes are run down. Across his chest is an old alto saxophone supported from his neck by a wire coat hanger. He keeps his head down, bogged by life's wearies. He has experienced many hardships in life and therefore his rough, unshaven face shows pain in each wrinkle. The player, who looks old, defeated and dejected, has a complete transformation in the end when he starts playing jazz music. He is now a messenger of God, soaring higher and higher like a free bird. TLI, poverty-filled life of the jazz player cannot bring down his spirits on the music. On the contrary, the music liberates him from his miseries, though temporarily. Read the following extracts and answer the questions given below them. Question 1. His rough and shaven face shows pain in each wrinkle. Answer. B. The musician is a poor, black man. He has experienced many hardships in life and therefore there is a pain in each of his wrinkles. C. The pain helps him to play good music, and it fills his music with a passion. Question 2. His run-down shoes have paper in them and his rough and shaven face shows pain in each wrinkle. Answer. B. The musician is a poor, black man. He has experienced many hardships in life and therefore there is pain in each of his wrinkles. C. The jazz player's face is unshaven, which suggests that he does not care for his appearance. He has led a hard life, so his face is wrinkled. Question 3. He is no longer a man, no, not even a black man, yeah, a bird. Answer. C. These lines suggest that music can transform a man from the slavish condition to the free, masterly position. The transformation is symbolic of the liberating spirit of music. Jazz Poem 2 Poem Summary in English. Carl Wendell Hines Jr. wrote Jazz Poem 1 and 2. For students' reference, Jazz Poem 1 is given under. Yeah, here I am, standing at the crest of the tallest with a trumpet in my hand and dark glasses on. Bearded and beret one proudly stand. But there are no eyes to see me. I send down cool sounds. But there are no ears to hear me. My lips they quiver in ether emptiness. There are no hearts love who me. Surely though through night's grey fog mist of delusion and dream and the rivers of tears that flow like gelatin soul juice some apathetic bearer of paranoid icy peyote vision, or some other source of inspiration, shall hear the song one play. Shall see the beard and beret, shall become inflamed beyond all hope with emotion's everlasting fire and join me in eternal peace. And but yet well who knows? The old jazz musician was also similar to that of ancient mariner in Coleridge's poem. He had no interest or enthusiasm in the present world. He had a pathetic figure, but commanding artist. He had the power to make people listen. This was a gift. He was silent speech but eloquent in music. He was very good at expressing his thoughts through music. He stood at the crest of the tallest hill. He was old and had a wrinkled face. He had no interest in life. His head was turned downward, he closed his eyes. He wore an old faded blue shirt. That shirt was dark with sweat, the tie was torn. The jacket was old and it could not hold his sagging, hanging, stomach. He wore the old shoes which had papers inside. His face was not shaved. One could see the pain in each wrinkle of his face. He alone stood with his head down and eyes closed. He wore an old alto saxophone and chanting some religious music in low voice. That old saxophone was hanging from his neck by a wire coat hanger. He wanted to tell that he was a black man. He had been sent here to preach the black gospel of jazz. He was preaching it with words by loud musical sound. When he started to preach, he was transformed into a bird. That bird gathers its wings and flies high, high and higher until it flies away. Otherwise, he comes back to find himself as a black man again.